You get to be a fly on the wall in today's conversation with Rebecca. She is giving us a tour of her Tennessee home, and it is really delightful. She invited me in order to bring in a little bit more warmth and coziness to make it look a little bit more cohesive and elevated, and maybe even a little bit more southern. Now, here's how Decorating SOS calls work. Rebecca reached out to me and she filled out a survey so I would get some bearings on what her home looked like and the direction she wanted to go. It gave me the opportunity to take a tour before I was actually in the space so that I could think about the end destination. Now, the Decorating SOS call is us working together to create that end destination. You're going to hear dialogue. Do you like this idea? This is kind of what I was thinking. How are we doing? And it gives a new perspective to your space. Sometimes the space that you've been sitting with for 20 years and you just don't know what to do. So you're going to be able to listen to part of Rebecca's call, and the plan that we ended up with was really very, very sweet. It added a lot of charm to her space, a lot of warmth and character to her space, and quite honestly, the changes that she's going to be making over time are not that dramatic, meaning they're not super expensive, but they're just going to be compounding themselves in order to add a little bit of character here, a little bit of warmth there, a little bit more color here, and it's going to be phenomenal. I already can't wait to see the end result. But what I want to tell you, friend, is that right now, Fig and Farm at Home is having a spring sale. I have put together a spring reset bundle for you in order to get started in your own space. Now, what I've noticed over the course of a year and a half working with women is that the combination of a Decorating SOS call and the follow-up and support of the collective and being able to have a little bit more ongoing learning to fine-tune some of the ideas, as well as have that support check-in, that combination is a beautiful combination in order to maximize the results, in order to make transition and transformation happen in your space. Because there's something about just ingesting information and then not acting on it, or there's something about ingesting it, taking the first step, and then not knowing what to do. But this combination of a Decorating SOS call and the collective has allowed so many women in order to transform their spaces, to make transformation that not only they can see, but their friends can see when they come over. So for the next few days, I am offering a spring reset bundle, which includes 2 Decorating SOS calls, 3 months of the collective, and my redecorating roadmap tool, which essentially allows you to know what changes to make first, what things to buy first that will make the biggest impact in your home. Because a lot of the things that keep us stuck are not knowing what to do and when to do it. And the beauty of this roadmap is that you know the action item that you need to do first, whether it's painting or buying something. You know what that is. And if you can't afford it yet because your budget doesn't allow, that's okay. You stop and you save. But when you have that budget ready and can allocate it for that change, you're ready to go. It's a really lovely tool that puts priorities first rather than budget first, because what I see, the biggest mistake that happens is we go out and we buy the thing and then we come home and figure out how to implement it instead of knowing what the plan is and how to allot our time and our resources to that plan. So friend, that spring reset bundle is available for the next couple days, and I have removed a ginormous barrier for you, and that is the price point. So you're going to have to go check it out at figandfarmathome.com/spring-reset-bundle. I will put that link in the show notes for you. All right, friend, go check that out. That is a steal of a deal for the next couple days, removing the number one barrier that most of you think, and that is the cost. So come on over, get started this spring, resetting your home and transforming that space, because having a home that you delight in is really closer than you think. All right, enjoy being a fly on the wall in today's conversation. We grew up with the phrase, home is where the heart is. But our culture has shifted, and now the message is, home should be Pinterest perfect. I'm calling BS on that message. Home, it's not about the stuff, it's about the story. And whether you know it or not, your home is a reflection of you and is already saying something. So what is it that you want it to say? Hey, I'm Danny, a former first grade teacher turned home decorator. Going from a dual income to a single income so I could stay home with my babies meant budget, like ramen eating, Goodwill shopping budget. And I learned a few things along the way, like how to bring big style to your home without breaking the bank. And I'm sharing it all with you. Tips, tricks, decor, and design advice so you can learn to tell your story with your style. Where you can start living free from the Pinterest perfect trap and start living a life of intention. Welcome to Fig and Farm at Home, where we design happy living and where it doesn't have to be perfect to be beautiful. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm excited. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm really excited to meet you and get to work on your you have a very lovely home.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Where are you located?
We're in East Tennessee.
Okay. Okay. Great. I've never been to Tennessee, but it is on my bucket list.
Yeah, we're not far from Knoxville.
Okay. Oh, wonderful. And you can hear it in your voice.
Yeah, yeah,
I love it. I love it. Okay, and I see that you're sitting in your living room.
I am at my breakfast table, and I'm glad to do this however you'd like. If you want me to start at the front door, I can walk you around.
Okay.
I wasn't sure. I felt like I might need my computer, but I thought maybe it was good to start this way so you
Oh,
can
sure. Yeah.
a little.
Yeah. Sometimes when we have like the computer, like, I'll just have them put it on their tummy. So we can go however you want. It'll probably be easier to carry your phone. But yeah, let's take a peek.
Okay, I'm going to bring you from the front door, and I'll turn my camera around. And
Great. Perfect.
we've been here about 7-ish years, and we're coming from the front door.
Okay.
So looking from my front door, we have this entryway that I want to update somehow.
Okay.
And I have my dining room.
Oh, that's a pretty color.
I love this. And I don't know if it's true on camera, but I love this color. I can't remember the name of it. It's super soft.
Yeah.
Um,
It kind of has a gray undertone. So, I mean,
it
it's very subtle.
it does. I woke up one day and I looked around and all of my furniture was painted black. And I'm like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
We're in my house. And so I'm like, ah. So this is kind of on pause, this room, but I recognize
Okay.
that it needs some things, especially maybe a rug or something to pull the
Okay.
floor. But I'm also not married to the black furniture that I've had for many years.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, that's a fun piece.
I have some fun pieces around the house that were from mom's, and some of them we just got, and then others I've had longer that she gave me when she was living, and I'm trying to figure out how to work them in.
Okay. Great.
Love that. I like bringing those pieces in.
Yeah.
Anyway, this area is a little sad to me right now. Um, but it's kind of what we went with when I didn't know what else to put there.
Yeah. Okay. What do you store in that entryway cabinet?
This has books and things. So
Okay.
not a lot of, I mean, does it help if I take these doors? I mean, I know this could,
I think it's really charming.
okay, you like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Okay.
that's a piece we got right after we moved in the house, and we kind of, I didn't know what, I
Yeah.
honestly, so many decorating mistakes, and I'm learning as I go, but I'm,
Yeah.
and chicken, but I'm still so struggling, and your classes have helped me so much because
Oh,
what my style was, and I would
yeah.
buy things that didn't work, and I didn't know what
Right.
to purchase them and I get in. Anyway, so I'm dealing with some of those
Yeah. Yeah.
those
Some of those decisions that you made before you knew any different.
and so here's our living room. I'll kind of go slower.
Okay. Show me, because I saw the note that you didn't want to keep that table. Can I see that table? The
Which
glass top table right there. Yeah.
I don't know what to put here.
Okay.
It has just been with me since I got married, and I have
Okay.
tried, actually got a piece from mom's that was more of a square. um I didn't realize how cherry it was, but it's probably more cherry. And when I put it on this floor, it looked red.
Oh, yep.
Immediately took it back and said someone else can have this.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we this is part of my dining room furniture that we're using as a TV thing.
Okay.
I don't know if I need to take that down.
Okay.
Me a while. It might look too busy over there. These churns I inherited from mom, and I've got
Yeah. Yep.
one.
Those are very cool.
here. And then we're in this other sad space.
Okay.
Like, oh, it screams at me every day. Take the thing down off the wall and put stuff back
Yeah.
there, but I don't know what to put there.
Yep.
The table I could give to my children as they start their apartments. It's just kind of
Okay.
fitting us right now.
Okay.
It's very bright white kitchen from a new build.
Okay.
I have these, I feel like maybe they're too small. I don't know.
Okay. Show me those chairs. Are those metal chairs or is that a painted gray wood?
This is painted,
Okay.
more of the stained.
Okay.
So I don't know if you can see that better,
Yep.
but
Yep. Perfect. Okay.
and as I said in my note, I do, I'm not sure which way I need to lean more into the warm or the cool. I've got a lot of
Yeah.
both. Didn't recognize that before your classes.
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Okay.
and then
Ooh,
this,
was that a butler's pantry?
yes,
Oh, you lucky girl.
I
Oh
do
my
love.
gosh. That is my dream.
Yeah, I wish we had differentiated cabinets. Let's try to make that bigger. In this part because it's all one big row,
Yeah.
but we do have them in here, and then a
Okay.
little pantry right there, and it goes into
Okay. Oh, and there's Pup again.
and the dining room. So I'm
And then you were gonna you there was a really cool piece. I interrupted you. It looked like a vintage warm wood piece. Yeah,
this
right there.
um
Ooh, is that a pie
yeah,
safe?
this was in my grandparents' basement, and it used to hold paint. And before that, it was in a relative's home. Then you
Okay.
safe, but I've toyed with
Oh,
the idea of taking these off and using it as an open shelf
okay.
or not. I don't know.
Okay.
Kind of
I
storage.
have so many ideas.
I'm so excited to hear those. And then up here needs help. I just don't know.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and yeah. Okay. We'll chat about that too. Okay. So when I was, and we'll go through, what you submitted to me. Is there anything else you want to share with me? Can I get an up close on the couch real quick?
Yes. These we got after we moved in from our local Bill Cox Furniture in town. And it's
Yeah. Okay.
in it. It's got browns and grays.
Oh, perfect. Okay. That's great for when you're trying to marry the older grays or the warm cool. That's great.
My carpet, I feel like it has great colors. I like it soft and it's a
Hmm.
quality rug, but I feel like it's probably too small,
Okay.
maybe for this space, and maybe could be used somewhere else.
Okay.
And then the last thing, and I'm not even
Oh,
going to try to
yeah.
do upstairs in this call, but this is our garage entrance.
Okay.
My dream was for this to be a built-in
Yeah. Yeah, it
with
kind of has that nook like we want that potential there. Yeah.
yeah. So that's kind of where I'm going with that, and it just
Okay.
my husband can do it, but
Okay.
hasn't yet. And then there's a guest room in here. One quick question here too for later.
Okay.
This is a furniture set I brought back from mom's. I've done
Okay.
mirror off, hate it. But when I put it in this room, it pulled really orange.
Yeah.
Uh, so, and I know there's some imbalance here. I had antique um, oak, deep stained oak in here, but I moved that to my son's room upstairs, and it fits perfectly up there for his
Okay.
masculine theme. But I'm wondering if I need to keep this or marketplace it and go a different route. So there's
Yeah.
another conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and sometimes, oh, can I see this little piece right here real quick?
This is
That,
another
yeah.
mom's.
Oh, very cool. I love that. Okay. Oh, and that's a picture. I was wondering if that was a mirror. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
One more piece from mom's I'll show you just in case we move things around.
Okay.
So this is not this is our bonus room, but it's not the space I want to focus on just yet.
Yep. Okay.
Do
But
some
sometimes it's nice to see what you have so we
yeah.
can think
But
about reusing it.
I'd like to have a conversation another time, or if we have time, about what to do with all these picture collages that I feel like maybe worked at once, but maybe don't work now.
Okay.
Um, this I would envision a more of a built-in on this wall as well,
Okay.
making do with this cheap shelf
Yeah.
here now. And then that's my desk over there. But this is the piece I was going to show you.
Oh, oh my gosh, I love that.
Little secretary, and it had a top to it where mom had these things stored in it that all of my sisters were like, nobody wants that because it looks so dated. But
Yeah. But without it, it looks really,
oh my goodness, I
yeah.
love the top. I don't know if
Oh,
that's too big on top. The too many pictures across the top is what I had there with something else under it.
yeah, yeah. That's really very charming.
Anyway, that is here.
Okay.
That
Okay. Okay.
wood.
Can I see those pictures just a little bit? Okay.
I bought prints from eBay and printed them.
Great. Okay.
That's my
eBay, not Etsy?
thrifty. I'm sorry. Yes, Etsy. Sorry,
Oh,
sorry.
okay. I was like, wow,
Etsy
that's
makes
really
much more
impressive.
sense.
Okay. I do too. I love using Etsy for art. It's one of my very favorite sources. Okay. Okay, that's really helpful. Okay. Thank you so much for that tour.
Mhm.
Okay, so you go ahead and get comfy, and I'm gonna while you're doing that, I'm gonna pull up what I see, and I want you to see it as I'm seeing it and explaining it. I just want to make sure that we're clarifying what we want to work on today is your living in your kitchen area, kind of as much as we can in that downstairs area to make it cohesive, right?
Right.
Okay. And help deciding your furniture, lighting, paint color with the dark wood floors. I highlighted this and I want to land here for just a second, this Southern transitional. When if you and I were to both say what we think Southern transitional is, we might have two very different things in our mind. But you live in the South, so I have a feeling you know better than I do. But can you just tell me in your words, like just name some things that you think make Southern transitional?
I really struggled with this part of the assignment. It's welcoming. I feel like I want it to be welcoming, inviting, able to, be hospitable,
Okay.
comfortable,
Okay.
and clean. Not necessarily clean lines, but like, I don't know,
Not,
declutter.
yeah, not overly cluttered. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Um, Tell me about some of the pieces. Like that feels great and it gives me a sense of like what I might feel when I'm there. Tell me about some of the things that I might see when I'm in that space. Like when you think about Southern transitional, like what kind of patterns do you picture? What kind of colors do you picture? What kind of wood colors? What kind of like what do you picture as a chair even? Go ahead and tell me some of that kind of stuff.
okay. I lean more to, I've always had these darker woods, and I think subconsciously we gravitated toward that long ago when we started buying furniture. I feel like I'm kind of growing out of that and leaning more towards the lighter, but I'm also noticing a lot more of that is more popular now too. So I like to stay in the classic zone that things aren't going to go out of style
Okay.
based on the current trends. As far as colors, I love the bringing the outdoors in with the nature colors
Okay.
of in the sky, as far as greens and blues and calming type colors.
Okay. What kind of patterns, when you think about Southern transitional, like if I were to show you patterns of like curtains, what kind of patterns would you say, oh my gosh, that is like I could see that in a Southern home?
Okay. I could see some more flowing patterns, but I could also see just your it's very simple white linen. Um, but I could see a not really busy pattern. Really busy patterns to me are hard to live with over the years because you get tired of them
Okay.
quickly. Um, I'm kind of
When you say flowing, I'm immediately picturing floral. What do you mean by flowing?
I mean, I guess I mean soft because I could see a geometric being pretty. Um,
Okay.
a, s- a s- a slight geometric pattern too. Nothing really bold
Okay. Okay.
for me. Um, just because patterns and like wallpaper and stuff,
Hmm.
I like it for a while and then it's like, oh, gotta
Yeah.
change.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. Okay, and favorite shopping places, Wayfair, Amazon, Home Goods, TJ Maxx. I love that you said thrift stores and antique stores.
Hmm.
Do you have one in your local town?
We have lots.
Okay. Good. I love that. I mean, honestly, when you curate, like that's how you get a curated home is when you have those pieces that you can't really find at like Target or you can't really find on Amazon. They're good replicas, but yeah.
I feel like what my home is missing and what I've struggled with the most too is that it is a larger area to deal with than I've had to in the past, but also it's a new build and bringing character into a new build is so much more challenging.
Hmm.
Um, and I feel like everything we have in here, we're grateful for. We are blessed. It works, but I'm really want to focus and lean into nurturing our home and how to make this better and more of a comfort and calming space that really feels like home and a refuge. And it hasn't felt like home yet.
Okay. Oh, that's a powerful statement. Okay. Are your kids out of the house, Rebecca?
They are.
They are.
College.
Okay. Okay. So when they come home, you want it to feel like a breath for them too, right? Like it's like, oh my gosh, I'm home and it feels good.
Yes.
Okay. Well, here is what I see when I'm looking at your space. I'm going to try to make this a little bit bigger. Um, you have some really lovely pieces, and I was a little shocked when I first saw the word transitional, Southern transitional, and then when I saw your pictures come in at the second, on a different time, because what I see is leaning more towards farmhouse.
Yeah.
Okay, and
That's my
and
first.
okay, okay, perfect. Okay. So I am so glad that you showed me all of those wonderful pieces from your mom's because that feels very Southern transitional to me. Those pieces do. And I think the fun combination between those two things is when you have the modern build, but then you have the antique and you bring in even little pieces here and there, it creates that juxtaposition between curated and and this modern build and it makes it really full in a very good way. So some of the things that I see like that little guy and you've already recognized like the little guy in your dining area looks farmhousey and the chairs look a little farmhousey. I was curious about this piece because I wondered about that little glass side table, and I wondered if maybe the base was a little bit more transitional. When I think about transitional, I think about all the colors you mentioned. I also think about whites. I think about soft, flowy patterns as well, even like ticking stripe. And like all of those pictures that you showed me upstairs from Etsy, that is like that whole vignette up there feels very Southern transitional to me.
Mhm.
So I think we just want to, if it were my home, I would want to lean more into that. Not, of course, overloading it with antiques because we want to make that balance between what you currently have in your new build and that. Yeah, and so this piece right here feels in that farmhouse range. That piece on the wall, do you see that?
Yes.
And I think, I mean, even though this is a barn door and traditionally uh, farmhouse, I don't think it's going to negate this transitional way that you want to go. I don't think that at all. So that is a lovely piece. Is this from your mom too, this plant stand?
All the pieces except for the large one are thrifted or yeah, thrifted.
Okay. Can you see the stand that the
Oh,
plant is sitting
I
on?
I do now. Yes. That
Okay.
was
That was your mom's too?
yes.
Okay. If this were to stay here among all the other things, it would still fit very farmhousey, but I think it can stay, and I think it can be an accent piece that just kind of is one of those more I'm living in the modern space.
Mhm.
These little pieces here do feel a little farmhouse to me.
Yeah. I do.
Okay. What are these little guys? Is that something functional that you use?
They were holding plants earlier and now they're just like homeless.
And the plants have died.
All
Oh,
of that I have not tied to all of that. So I just
okay.
don't know what else to put in its place. So I'm just leaving it there literally because I don't want an empty space.
Okay, great. Great. Okay. And you said that your husband is handy, right?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. I
And-
have an idea for this wall.
Okay.
Okay, and then I wanted to show you like when I think about like Southern transitional, this is kind of, I mean, I just grabbed the first two pictures I could find. This is kind of what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about like maybe not as bold of colors, but I'm definitely thinking about the natural colors. I'm thinking about pieces like this or like this that have a little bit more character. I'm thinking about things that you wouldn't necessarily find when you go to Target. So, like interesting lamps or interesting art pieces, or even like, do you see this little chair behind this dog? Slip covered things. That's kind of where my mind goes. And it doesn't mean that we have to now replicate this in your home, but before having seen the tour of your space and knowing that you actually have some of these really fun pieces from your mom, I think we can embrace that and lean into it, bringing in some of those softer touches to combine those spaces to make it feel both modern and that transitional. How does that sound overall?
Yeah, I do like blending in the older pieces and they bring in so much character.
Hmm.
Um, I tend to be more relaxed.
Yeah,
Some of these feel a little more formal to me, and I tend to like that calm, relaxed, but I do love the pieces there that bring in history and character and uniqueness.
yeah,
A
yeah.
blend of that.
Yeah, and this, like this picture here, does not feel so relaxed to me because of the vibrancy. And it does feel a little bit like there's two seating areas. I think we're in a hotel. I'm not sure. But it gives you the idea of oldish, newish. Um,
Uh-huh.
okay. So going back to your home, one of the things that I think I would love to see is bringing in some of that color from that dining room more into the living area and the kitchen area. It does feel very, very calming. Oh, you know what? Let me show you this too. Hold on, let me go find this because you sent those inspiration photos. And you, of course, have already seen these since you pinned them. But some of these photos, a lot of them had a very neutral color palette. So, how do you feel about bringing in some more aqua?
A calm aqua
Hmm.
would be okay. Um, in what place would you suggest it to go?
Well, I think I would probably suggest it to go like in your textiles on your couch.
Hmm.
Um, I would probably suggest I think I would probably like I love the dining room the way it is, but I think I might change out some of that furniture to make it a little bit of
Hmm.
that not deep black. Grounding that space with even that living room area rug would be really very sweet, and getting a bigger one, very similarly styled, very still subtle in its pattern and color story. Now, when I'm saying like bring in some aqua into like your textiles, what I don't mean is like I literally have like this color of blanket sitting on my lap. I
Hmm.
don't mean something heavy like that. I mean very, very subtle. So it would have maybe a whitish or an ivory foundation or understory,
Hmm.
and then maybe like little aqua pinstripes or
Right.
little aqua detailing here and there, but it's not a big pop of, whoa, there's a whole lot of aqua.
Hmm. Hmm.
When you think about your entryway, because you do have those two pieces, the bench and that landing spot, which one do you think, well, do you sit on the bench to exit?
No, the bench can go.
Okay, okay. That was my first question, was how functional is that? But is that a landing spot for you, that entryway table to land there and like
Not
eat
really.
or anything? Okay.
Nah.
Okay. Do you need anything there like um, coat storage for when friends come over?
At the front door, no, we tend to take them to the garage door entrance, the coats to the garage door entrance or the coat closet on that area right near the front door.
Okay. Okay. Because I had an
I do
idea.
like, yeah, I do like
Okay.
having something with lamp. Like,
Uh-huh.
I like that I'm able to have that lighting over there
Yeah.
on that entryway table. Um, Kind of pop our mail there, stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Um, So one of the ideas I had for there, one of the things that you is an easy character add-on as well as kind of lives in the land of Southern transitional is board and batten. Not necessarily
Mhm.
shiplap, though that can be, but do you know board and batten?
Yes, where you're adding some trim work to the wall.
Yeah,
I
uh-huh.
mean,
Yep. That whole entryway wall from entryway door to the stairwell having a, well, let me find a picture for you because, and I would paint it white. I wouldn't be dramatic about any of that. Okay, here's a good example. Do you see that guy right? Oops, let me move
yes,
me.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something
I've
like that.
actually, I think I've pinned some of those before too.
Okay.
It's my vision. Would
Okay.
be to have something like that would be
Yeah.
nice.
Okay. And they're relatively easy to build. And I say that because I've built a couple in my own home and I'm not the builder. Greg is the builder. Um, so if your husband is, at all handy, or if you are at all willing to learn, it's something that you could do on your own, but it adds immediate character. And I
Hmm.
can see that running the whole length of your wall from entryway to staircase, kind of high like this. So it's maybe more than 4 feet high, like maybe 5 feet high or so, and then shifting your entryway table down just a teeny tiny bit, a little closer to where that not where the bench is, but closer to where the bench is, removing the bench and the things above it. But what I can see, Rebecca, right here on this board and batten, and I know that you don't necessarily need it because your friends go to the other door, but what I can see are some really fun hooks here as a way to say, you know what, I'm going to hang that plant, or I'm going to hang my umbrella, or I'm going to hang the dog leash, or I'm going to just let it be so that it's functional, but it's also
Hmm.
beautiful.
I like that. I have a question about where to stop that.
Okay.
If I can
Yeah,
remember
you
this.
want to take me back?
Yeah, I'm gonna take you back over here. So if it's 4 to 5 feet high,
Oh,
when you
okay.
get to this, what do you do?
Yes. Okay.
And that's I'm about 5'4", so that's probably almost 5 foot, a little
Okay.
less than 5 foot right here.
I think I would I'm glad you showed me that. I think I would probably go above it.
So it would end.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So it's more like 5 feet.
Yeah. I
That's
think,
that high,
well, I think
which would be over here, would be about to that long.
so the picture step me back just a little bit. How tall are your ceilings?
I think 9.
Okay.
So here, this is coming up to about my shoulder right here.
Okay. I wonder, okay, so the other alternative, so we'd want to end it either above or below. And if we went below and like left, we'll say, yeah, yeah, that much space. About how high do you think that is?
Probably 4 feet.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, will you run your hand all the way over to where like the lamp is and so I can see? Okay, great. Okay, now can you step back so I can see?
So it's about halfway up that lamp.
Okay. Great. Yeah. And that would be fantastic. We just would want to go either above or below, but below would be totally fine.
But would one give you like higher? I don't know. But here I land in indecision land. Do you go higher or lower for a different look?
Yes. So higher can be really, really fun if you're going to do wallpaper. Because we're kind of keeping yours nice and calm, we don't necessarily need to add wallpaper, though that could be really fun on that wall,
Hmm.
especially a wallpaper that has a teeny tiny little bit of flow to it and a teeny tiny bit of that, like that calm,
Just on this one wall.
just on that one wall.
That could be
So
fun too.
that would be so fun.
Mhm.
And in that case, it'll be less expensive if you go higher, and it would be less work. It'll just be a lot easier to hang that wallpaper.
We do not have crown molding at this point. I wish we
Okay.
did. So I don't know how wallpaper does in a situation like that. What do
Oh
you?
yeah. No, that's okay. Yeah. I mean, the crown molding is going to add that character, right? It's going to add
Right.
that like Southern charm. But you can have wallpaper go up all the way just to the ceiling and just stop there. You don't
Okay.
need to add the crown molding. Yeah. But how
Would
pretty
you
would that be?
would you change and put
Yeah,
fixtures?
uh-huh,
What would
I
you do?
would. Yeah. And so one thing, because it's just an opportunity for character and you have high ceilings. So one thing that I want you to think about is what would you say your metal is? Do you
I see a lot
not
of the black.
including a black? Okay.
I see a lot of the of what I already have. I have a lot of black fixtures
Okay.
in this and in the knobs and um, handle on that thing there. This is a whole different metal. The knobs on this, which those can all be changed, but that's those have the
Okay.
black,
Okay.
which those could also be changed. I'm not against changing things, but I kind of was already having some of those, so I was thinking black, but I don't know.
How do you feel about a little bit of brass?
I feel good about a little bit of brass.
Okay, great. I love it because that feels like a very warm addition and a very like stepping into the camp of Southern transitional. So, and you can marry black with brass really, really beautifully. In fact, you want to do those high contrast things with those metals, and that is perfect. So,
So
um,
would this type of
yeah,
be okay in that
yep,
situation? Or
yep, yeah, yep, exactly.
so
And then
brass for these.
well, yes, yes. Well, we could find it. But what we want to think about is consistency with your metal, with the functionality of that thing. So, for example, if you change those out to be um, a brass fixture, then we would probably want to think about changing some of the other lighting fixtures to be brass as well.
Okay.
So, does that make sense? Like whatever the function is. And that's just a rule of thumb. Because we are mixing and matching a little bit, you have play. We're not going to bring in pewter into this scenario.
So maybe changing these to be brass as well.
So, yes, if we changed those, maybe we would change those to be brass.
Okay.
The exception, and this is just one of those that just feels like this is what kitchens are. The exception is the kitchen, where, we ha now have the stainless steel fridge and um,
Yeah, and then I
the
have all of
anchor.
these. It's, I don't have to keep these either, but
Yeah.
all the more of
Okay.
a brush nickel.
Yeah. And
On
that
the,
is such an easy change out too.
Mhm.
Great. How are you liking this plan-ish so far?
Like it.
Okay. That of course leads to lots of dominoes, right?
Yeah.
You know, what do
Well,
you
we
do
call it the Great
first?
Shuffle right now, just bringing all the things from mom and trying to find
Yeah.
new places for things. We've gotten rid of things and moved things around, and I feel like we're still in the Great Shuffle.
But what a neat thing that you, and it sounds like your siblings are able to bring in and honor some of those pieces that she has. So
Yeah.
that is fantastic. Okay, regarding the pie safe, I actually think you should keep it as is. And it is that metal, it's like that punched gray metal. But I think you would lose some of the antique charm if you took
Hmm.
it out.
Okay.
So I would leave it as is. Now, one of the other things I noticed in your home that is kind of indicative to the farmhouse lens or lane is word art. So,
Yeah. Hey, I got rid of some.
oh,
I'm
good.
still working on it.
Yeah,
But I did recently get rid of some of it.
great.
But I recognize that it's still there. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
And I
Um,
thought too, this has worked well here. I had considered moving it over there. I don't know, but
I kind of like it right there.
here it
Yeah.
fits.
Yep. I kind of like it right there. Now, what we might do in that area in the dinette area where your gray yeah, that those big pieces are, what we
Hmm.
could do is just two kind of bigger framed pieces of art.
Hmm.
And you have if okay, can you back up just a teeny tiny bit? Oh yeah, that's perfect. So what we're going to think about between the wall on the left and the cabinet on the right, what I would kind of think about would be having using that as the measurement framework for how big of art to bring in. So scale wise. And so generally what we'd want to think about is having the art be between 2/3 to 3/4 the width of that space. And that can look like two pieces of art. that are big and matted. Um, in fact, that's probably what I would suggest is two kind of bigger pieces that are hung, not staggered, they're hung parallel to each other. And something like very similar to, maybe what you had upstairs in that cute little vignette area right there. And then you can,
How large of a how large would one piece be, are you thinking? If you have two of the same size, what would one of them be?
so I would imagine 24 inches wide ish without measuring that. And
Right.
you're welcome to grab a measuring tape so we can actually do some math. But what you're going to do is you're going to think about like, let's see, two 24 pieces of art. That includes the entire frame with the matting. So that's 48 inches plus 4 inches between it. So now you have 52 inches. That's kind of what I'm thinking is like
Okay.
you have wall, 24-inch piece, 5 inches between the next piece, and then wall.
Okay. And that sounds perfect. And I just get lost in where to find something like that.
What we want to do is think about how, choosing pieces that kind of reflect a little bit more of that transitional style for you. I don't know how much of the collective you've done in terms of like doing the work on understanding your design style. Have you done much of that?
I have done probably 20%
Okay.
of the lessons there.
Okay. Um, because that can really help you pinpoint things like, when I was trying to get you to say like, okay, what does transitional mean to you? And you were able to say some of those like, oh, sky blues and natural colors, and that is awesome. But we want to go so granular that we're like, oh, uh, brushed brass, nail head trim. Um, we want to have like these ideas of like it might feel high maintenance, I guess is the word. But you want to go so granular and to say like, oh, I love caning. I don't love caning. Oh, I love, no scroll work, or I love like pinstripe. I'm immediately picturing ticking in, transitional homes, or hobnail. I love hobnail. Things like that that are the details of these pictures that you gravitate to.
Mhm.
Um, and when you can do that, you're able to hopefully make some of those selections when you're looking at art on Etsy and you say, I'm just going with a general search like floral. And then you're able to see like, oh, okay, does it have any of these really fun elements I like? Does it have brass? Oh, nope. Okay, that one's out. You see what I'm saying? Like, does it
Mhm.
have some of these things I've listed before? Yes, it does. Okay, awesome. I'm on the right track. Hey, real quick before you go, if you learned something new or found value in today's podcast, would you head over to iTunes to Fig and Farm at Home and leave a review and subscribe to the show? That would be awesome. And if you'd like to connect with my community of mamas who are learning to be intentional storytellers within their own homes, join us at bit.ly/design101 group. There's always more room at the table. See you soon.